Welcome friends to another r/IDontWorkHereLady video. If you want to do next to no work at all to help support this channel, all you gotta do is hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. That said, our first story of the day is by Rogu320. Where is your lanyard? I went to this technology store in a mall. The workers in the store do not have a uniform. They have to keep up a fairly good appearance. Clean shoes, no profanity and such on shirts, and just presentable, but otherwise just have a casual attire. The one thing to distinguish that they work there are these bright yellow neon lanyards. If you live in New Zealand or Australia, you probably know the place I'm talking about. I went in the store by myself to look at the headphones, listening to music playing on them to see if they're a good fit and how they sound, then delicately putting them back. I'm wearing a gray shirt and black pants, which just so happens to be the attire of someone else who's working currently, but I didn't know this till later. I'm approached by this larger woman who gives me a stern look. I thought maybe she just wanted to test the headphones too and moved to another shelf. Excuse me. I didn't know she was talking to me, so I kept looking at the current shelf till I got two hard taps on my shoulder. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I in your way? I need some assistance. Assistance? They say yes. I say, did you need some help with some headphones? They say no. I need to look at this camera in the display shelf. I look behind her and see the display shelf. I say, you'll need someone to open it up for you. There's a worker over there. I pointed at a worker standing next to the computers, chatting to a customer, and resume browsing. They say, excuse me, do your job. I say, my job? They say, yes, where's your lanyard? Don't you people wear lanyards? I saw you earlier, and you were wearing a lanyard. Admittedly, I was kind of confused. I'm a cleaner at a hotel, and the master key I use is on a lanyard, which I never take off work, but I had traveled 2 hours away from home / the hotel to this mall. I say, do you know me? She went red, her eyes bulged so large I thought they were going to fall out. They said, why would I know you? You work in some computer store and are wasting my time. Get your lanyard, where is it? Of course, the scene got the eyes and ears of other customers and a worker. A worker wearing a gray shirt, black pants, and a lanyard. Is everything okay over here? I want the... She turned and stopped mid-sentence, turned back to me, face red and eyes bulging, back to the worker. Let me tell you, me and the worker looked nothing alike. I'm much shorter than him, skin slightly darker, and my hair's what I like to call a contained mess, while his actually knew what a hairbrush was. We both were just wearing a similar outfit. They say, but The employee says, do you need help with something? She didn't even reply. She just walked past me and left the store. The worker asked if everything was okay, and I explained. We both had a laugh out of it, and he rung me up, and I left with my new headphones. Not a terrible experience, but my own personal I don't work here lady experience. Do you think you would be able to keep your head cool, calm, and collected when faced with a Karen like this? Gets all up in your grill and says, where's your lanyard? I know you work here. Would you be able to process that and just kind of deal with them politely? Or would you give them some sass too, maybe return some attitude? Let me know about you guys in the comments down below. Our next story is by Groundbreaking Bet 151, Black Polo. This is much more of a simple understanding than the Karens that I've seen on this subreddit. When I was in my senior year of high school, just before the whole fiasco hit, I was shopping by myself in my local Food for Less. It was directly after school, so I was in my uniform, which consists of a black polo with the school logo, which was a purple kraken on my right breast. I was also wearing light khakis and a school jacket, which covered my logo, so me being mistaken was somewhat understandable. I was passing the aisles to get to the produce section when out of nowhere I hear a soft, excuse me. It took me a little while to respond, but I turned to face a man pushing a cart. He immediately asks if I can help him. It took me a while to absorb it, but unconsciously, I pulled my jacket slightly off to reveal the logo. Immediately, the man was like, oh, sorry, and walked away. I didn't really think about it till much later when I realized that I just had an I don't work here moment. You kind of feel bad for both of these guys in the story, but at least it was minor, right? Just a quick little interaction that I think both sides will probably lay in bed and just randomly think about for no reason. If I was the random shopper in the story, not OP, that's the kind of thing that I would just think about and replay in my head and just cringe about, even though really it's no big deal and I should just let it go. This next story is by Shell Switch. I'm not moving those carts. I'm a tech that works on electrical equipment. I was wearing a gray uniform with a hard hat. My company's logo is in green in front of my hard hat and shirt. I'm working at a certain site and went on lunch break. Bought some small tools from a nearby Home Depot and a burrito from a taco truck in the same area. I went to sit down on a bench near the parking lot to eat my burrito. Some customer from Home Depot came out and walked over to me. They say, "Hey, there's none of those big carts near the store. You should move some." I recognize immediately what was happening and will usually only say those glorious words once. "Oh no, miss, I don't work here." She just stands in front of me. I take another bite of my burrito. She points at the carts. I say that wasn't my cart. I was only buying small tools. She says, "I know you're on your lunch break, but someone needs to move those." I say, "You too can make a difference." The lady says, What are you talking about? Can you just move those?" I say, "No." She stands there for like a solid minute. I'm going at it with my burrito. She walks away. I thought that was the end of it. I'm grabbing my backpack and about to walk away. Lady comes out with some poor soul roped into her antics. The lady says, "Got you now, you lazy jerk. This guy's refusing to do his job. Can't believe people like you wanted $15 an hour." Whatever employee came out with her said, "He's not our employee, ma'am." The lady says, "Why didn't you say something?" I was gonna say I did, but I was already on a schedule and walking away. Not my first rodeo. You gotta love that very last ditch, either gaslighting attempt or revelation of how little they pay any attention. In that moment, it's like, you really don't hear anything that's going on when you have your eye set on something, do you? This next story is by Big Rigs Butters. I am so sick of being asked if I work here. I'm a field service technician who has multiple contracts with Lowe's and Dollar General. Every single time I'm asked if I work there, it's always at the most annoying or the most obvious moment that I don't work there. This is just one example why I loathe these people. I'm in Lowe's in the lawn and garden, standing in front of a completely torn down register. Parts are everywhere. Laptops pulled out and I'm looking over documents. I'm wearing a Rick and Morty shirt and have earbuds in my ear. Lowe's employees, for those unaware, wear red or camo green vests and are not allowed to have earbuds in. Lady stands in front of me and I ignore her. She proceeds to ahem. I ignore her. I'm mid-conversation with another tech saying that it's really frustrating being asked if I work here and getting interrupted. She then taps me and tells me she's ready to be rang up. I ignore her and continue my conversation. The whole time, the actual employee is trying to get her attention. She gets frustrated and I just point behind her. She sees the employee, rolls her eyes and walks away. I know someone's gonna say, "Well, you could have just told her you don't work here," but the thing is, that doesn't always work. I've had people ask for a manager because I refuse to help them. I've learned that silence is golden. Ignore them, and eventually they'll figure it out. I genuinely wish more people had situational awareness. How these people survive is a darn mystery to me. These people survive because we've got the McDonald's dollar menu. We've got that cheap, overly processed food that slowly kills you but also keeps you going. It fuels them enough to keep going back to the store, but not enough to fuel their brain to have that situational awareness. Our next story is by Hypnotoad12345678990. Well, I wasn't looking at her chest. I worked as a third-party contractor for an electronics company. I went into stores to place orders for products to replenish stock, put products in cases or on shelves throughout the department, and set up displays. Our uniforms had t-shirts with the company logo in huge letters across our chests, and you wore jeans. One day, I was in everyone's favorite mart putting items in a case, when a gentleman and his girlfriend came up and asked where an item was. I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know where it is. I don't work here, but there's a gentleman at the desk in a vest that'll be able to help you." The girlfriend says, "I told you she doesn't work here. The logo says insert company name." He replies, "Well, I wasn't looking at her chest." I wish them a good day while trying not to bust out laughing. If that guy's girlfriend is anything like some of the girlfriends out there that if they even catch you looking in the direction of some women, they're going to chastise you for it, then he's just trying to save his butt there. Our next story is by Talalelui Whacker. I ducked up by assuming someone worked at the Asian market store. First off, I'm white, and I feel super bad about this because I probably looked super racist for assuming this, but I swear it wasn't my intention. A very nice Asian market store in town does not have a uniform. One of the men who work there very often wears an apron, but that's it. I see a lady looking through the cute little bananas, and I assume she's stalking them. In my defense, I mean she was really touching them for a while, like 5 minutes. I ask her very politely, "Excuse me, do you know where the chewy rice cakes are?" And she says, "Oh, I don't work here." And immediately I'm ashamed and apologizing as fast as my mouth would speak. But she ended up being very nice and said she completely understands. She ended up helping me find the rice cakes anyways because she went to the store so often, she knew where it was. I think it's pretty clear what OP's intentions were. Somebody's hovering over a display and basically looks like they're adjusting it for like 5 minutes. With no regular uniform, you can see why they would assume. This next story is by Iron Luigi 2017. Wait, you're not a teacher? Backstory: I'm a 19-year-old male in a high school district program for special needs. I have high-functioning autism, where when you graduate from your high school, you have an option to have your diploma withheld and get some work experience through an internship program via the district. Learn how to live on your own, cooking, cleaning, laundry, taxes, etc., workplace technology, making a resume, looking for jobs, etc., and job labs, food cart/grocery store, janitorial and copy center, work a supported work site, having a teacher as a supervisor at an internship with other interns, and a independent work site where a teacher isn't present at an internship and you're on your own with just the store employees. Then get to VR, vocational rehabilitation. Once you graduate from that and get to go to a college or university of your choice, which is paid through the state. You can also get a job from the work sites. Now, onto the story. So earlier today, I was in a job lab, copy center, taking a work order to a teacher at the high school the program is based at. By that time, lunch had ended and I was going upstairs when 3 girls were talking about something not school appropriate. Don't remember what it was about. When all of a sudden, they saw me and freaked out and were like, "Oh crap." And I was like, what the freak? In my mind. One of them said, "Sorry sir, I'm more holier than this." And then it clicked. They thought I was a teacher. And like the usual brutally honest person I am, I said, "You do know that I'm a student, right? I have a short beard and wear a 3-piece suit." They said, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm an insert name program." They were stunned. After that I said, "Have a good day," then walked away. That little interaction made my day today and made me feel like I was very important in my community. I'll remember that for the rest of my life and will treasure this story. I just love that their response was, "I'm sorry sir, I'm more holier than this." Is this like a Christian program that's going on here? Or is that just kind of a funny way of saying it? This next story is by the Doom Song. This pharmacy doesn't sell auto parts? Years ago, I worked for AutoZone, a US auto parts store where the employees wear red or gray shirts and have the company logo on their name tag and shirt. I was in uniform and decided to stop at Walgreens for a snack on my way to work. I was perusing the carbohydrates section when I hear someone ask where the cough syrup is. As I don't work there, I ignore the voice. I decide upon my snack and begin to walk towards the checkout. Again, the voice, louder this time, demands to know where the cough syrup is. I ignore it, assuming incorrectly that they were talking to someone else. Finally, this person nearly screams, "Hey, you work here, where is the cough syrup?" I turned around in my gray shirt with company logo, and my name tag also with company logo, in my black uniform pants. I stare the person in the eye and point to my shirt with the logo of the auto parts company and say, "Ma'am, I don't believe this pharmacy sells auto parts. I don't work here, and I don't know where the cough syrup is." I turn to walk away, and the lady lets me know that she'll be complaining to my manager about my attitude. I tell her to make sure she does that at the correct business. I finally buy my snack and leave. I kind of wonder how an employer would think about that. Just the situation where OP is in another place wearing their employee uniform from their place. Like, obviously they're not on the clock. They shouldn't have any expectation to act a certain way or help somebody. But if they do act up or act bad while wearing their employee uniform with their badge that says AutoZone on it, does the employer have any right to say well, when you're wearing that uniform, you should try to be civil to other people, or, you're being a representative of the brand or something? I'm a little curious how that would fall on the spectrum of enforceable or not enforceable. I could just imagine some total suck-up managers actually taking that position. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. So of all these stories I've read today, which is your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you haven't yet, if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. Whatever you do, whether it's liking, subscribing, turning notifications on, all of it helps grow this channel and I appreciate the heck out of it. So until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow with some more stories.